Hello, my name is Indrek Ibrus. I'm a professor of media innovation at Tallinn University Film, Media and Art School. And today I'm going to tell you how we, as part of the Krashina work, developed this FIDA tool, the film analytics tool. And we developed this together with Lusofona University in Portugal and DAIN Studios, a data science firm from Germany, Finland, and Austria. But before I start showing you the tool, just a few words, why did we do this? Firstly, the understanding is that while data has been collected about the big European markets, it has not always been collected very systematically about Europe's small countries. And if this is being done, it has been done by different parties very differently, so the data is generally quite heterogeneous. It is difficult to interlink, to compare. And partly for this reason, it has been generally quite difficult to really know what is happening to films during the life cycles in European markets and beyond. And relatedly, it has been difficult to arrive any sort of proper informed decisions when it comes to developing various kinds of market development strategies or film distribution, etc., all these kinds of decisions. Now, so we can argue that because Europe in general consists of small countries, this data lack, market and untransparency has been one of the bottlenecks that has been undermining Europe's competitiveness, because good enough market data has simply not been available for good decision making. Now, so what has been our idea in the context of this problem? Firstly, to try to collect data a little bit more systematically about also European small countries, and try to collect as granular data as possible so that it is more easy to interlink, more easy to develop this kind of proper good quality analytics when studying the relationships between different aspects that characterize films and different phases of their life cycles. So, and one of our goals has also been to move away from this kind of report-based data provision, where some set of analysts decide what the rest of the market should know, but instead to move towards this kind of very flexible dashboards where every stakeholder can use those to figure out answers to exactly the problems or the questions they may have. So how have we done this now? We have been collecting different kinds of data, organizing and collecting different data sets to study these different phases during films' life cycles. So firstly, we have been collecting data generally about European films and what characterizes them, budget levels, genres, languages that are spoken in there, their topics, their makers, etc., etc. So secondly, we have been collecting some data about how much these films have been receiving public financing, generally what have been their budgets, then how they have been participating in festivals all around the world and the awards they have been winning in this process. Also, we have been very grateful to European Audiovisual Observatory, as we have been getting from them the cinema admissions data and box office data when it comes to European markets. We've been also collecting, we received from a company known as International Showtimes, cinema showtimes data. This means that data about when and where exactly in cinemas all around the world films have been showing, so in which time slots, etc., and during which weekdays, etc. Then monthly data during the last 4 years about VOD presence on different kinds of VOD portals and services. This data we have been receiving from Usher, an Irish company. And lastly, we have been trying to add to this also data about TV presence, so on which TV channels, when, etc., have films been shown. Now, we have been trying to interlink all of these and then in order to study various kinds of interrelationships between film life cycles, what characterizes films, etc. So we have been also, therefore, as I already mentioned, we have been creating all kinds of dashboards, quite many dashboards, and we are continuing to produce those. But let me just show clips of some of this work. Firstly, I will start out with one of the live dashboards so that you see how these interactive dashboards that we've been generating work. So here is dashboard about VOD distribution. So when European films arrive at to VOD portals all around the world, as you can see, this is very nicely interactive. We can select specific country groups here. We can see exactly kind of more precise numbers also when I hover over them using my pointer. And when I click some of them, for instance, if I click on Estonia, my home country that I pre-selected to be here right now, then I can see how exactly Estonian films are arriving to different VOD portals all around the world. We can see that Estonian films are not arriving to international platforms very well. They are firstly on the local platform and then Amazon Prime and all the rest. But I can also click on European Union, small countries, and can see overarching trends about these as well. And for instance, we can see how soon films that have been produced arrive, how many films and when are arriving at VOD portals. Here we can see how how many different platforms they are arriving and when. So we can see that bigger numbers start arriving around month 30 after the initial release of the film. And then here we can see how many countries via these different VOD portals films are reaching, so different export markets. But let me just point you out that right now I had chosen to show you only SVOD, but I can choose also different VOD types here. We can specify different genres, focus on different export markets, to focus on different production years of films, different production countries, country groups, production types such as co-productions or single country productions, etc. And as I said, and if I start clicking around, then I get more specific data about, let's say, here in case of iTunes. Now let us go back. So here are glimpses of other kinds of dashboards we have been producing. Here is one focusing on production. Again, quite a lot of filtering can be done here on top of the dashboard, and of course I can organize things around on the dashboard when clicking about some specific budget types or genres, etc., etc. Here's another dashboard that we have been producing, focusing on theatrical demand. Here we are only using right now cinema admissions and cinema box office data in different genres, and looking also at cinema admissions. And again, a lot of filtering can be happening here. Here's another dashboard that we are still working on, looking at the journeys films take through different release windows. Again, here the dashboard is interactive in terms of we can focus on different production countries, their genres, different distribution countries, revenue brackets of films, budget brackets of films, etc. Here we can see all kinds of very more specific numbers. And I can tell you this dashboard tells very interesting stories in terms of how these journeys between different release windows have been changing over the last few years, and indeed the change has been quite significant. Now, as I said, we are continuing our work. One of the first things we are aiming to address is studying the relationships between when it comes to theatrical window admissions, showtimes data, and box office. And having this showtimes data together with ticket prices, we can really start analyzing how the admissions and box office numbers in different export markets are coming together. Also, secondly, we are aiming to analyze how festival success in different export markets and local festivals is affecting the relative success in theatrical windows, on VOD and even television. And then also what we are very much interested in effectively is the different interdependencies or patterns of relationships between different windows and platforms. How relative success in theatrical window may affect the journey afterwards on VOD platforms or television in specific countries and regions. And of course, we have also started doing predictive analytics. So we are not only looking at past trends, but modeling our data points so that we can really understand how the different characteristics of films may affect their relative success in different export markets in the future. And as I said, maybe I didn't say, right now, everything that I'm presenting to you will be available in a beta form in the open internet on the Krishina website at some point in the autumn. So thank you very much. If you're interested and want to learn more about these tools that we are developing, then you're very much invited to contact me at this email address. Thank you very much.